Casual Geographic's latest video about how raccoons almost got away with it. I watched like the first few seconds where it seems that raccoons are trying to domesticate themselves in the same way that other animals have been trying to do as well. I know that urban foxes are doing a similar thing, but as a raccoon myself, I know quite a bit about myself. If that makes any sense. I don't know if that was supposed to make any sense, but since this video in particular is about raccoons, it only makes sense that I would be the one to want to look at it. I am very excited to see where this goes, because I want to see whether or not we are truly worthy of the title of domesticated. For you see, the era of the canines and the felines shall come to an end, and the prosionids, we shall rise up. Yeah, they would be in the good care of Lisa Simpson. They'd also be in very good care of Bobby Hill as well. Just make sure that I'm not rabid, okay? Because that would be very bad. As you can see, we got the scratchies and the stretchies.
A new study shows raccoons are evolving and trying their hardest to become our pets. Let me explain.
Now, how about I explain?
Yeah, let's go ahead. No, let the casual geographic explain. No, and I will be able to correct all the mistakes that he made, because you know I will not sit here and let my own people. I will not sit here and let my own people be slandered. All right. So you have a book of National Geographic. Ooh, from the 20s. Yeah, 1920s. He'd be wearing a helmet on his head, but you got a watermelon instead. Yeah.
Raccoons wear masks because they might have pulled the feline finesse on humanity. It's what you've probably heard from the news. Researchers saying.
Yeah. Oh, and this is. Yeah, you see all the.
Achieving trash panda might be the next animal to domesticate itself. So much that they're already getting cuter in the process.
Yeah.
Domestication doesn't just make animals more tolerant of people. It physically changes them too. Which
yeah. Wait. What did that say? Hold on.
Domestication doesn't just make animals.
It is not advised to wipe with a raccoon. Oh, hell no, no. Of course, I don't want anyone to use me to wipe them. No. Brother, did you just tell me to wipe your ass?
Animals more tolerant of people. It physically changes them too. With changes like floppy ears, curly tails, smaller teeth.
Yeah, there's usually like there's like physical signs when it comes to domestication. I've noticed this with, and some scientists have noticed this even with foxes and stuff. Like, when it comes to quote-unquote, like, domesticated foxes that are, like, many generations removed from, like, if they were rescued from a fur farm, oftentimes they'll have, like, very peculiar colors to them, and they'll have those characteristic ears as well.
Brains and shorter snout, and one change has folks excited for the future of raccoons, and it's all because of
yes, tracking domestication signals across populations of North American raccoons, or Procyon lotor, citizen science-driven image repositories. Yeah.
This study, by combing through 19,000
I don't know whether or not Lisa would.
raccoon portraits posted to iNaturalist, the study concluded that the urban raccoon snout size was shorter than their country cousins by 3.6%. Possibly because shorter snouts with stronger bites are better at chewing through our trash. And
yes.
that trash might be how this all started. What people forget.
Yeah, because when it comes to survival of the fittest, you go to wherever the food is, and a lot of the food just so happens to be within the cities, among other places.
That is, domestication isn't just brute force by humanity.
Yeah, it happens on its own. Like the leading idea when it comes to how wolves became dogs is that the wolves just kind of hang around different tribes of humans, and they kind of just got along over the tens of thousands of years until, yeah, and there's all sorts of different dog breeds. It also explains the immense diversity in them. We've only been with cats for about 9,000 years or so, so there's not as much diversity, but it's still a pretty long time.
Has to make the first move, and with dogs.
But for here, obviously with like foxes and raccoons here, it's only been like a few decades. The tanuki is technically a dog. It's not a raccoon.
That move was early wolves scavenging off human leftovers.
Yes, exactly.
A habit that favored less fearful, less aggressive wolves.
And then eventually, the rest is history. I gotta play Donut County.
Without their love affair.
I could probably check it out. Oh, this little meme face. Yes, this one. This is so adorable.
Of our food, we wouldn't have dogs. And
Yeah.
arguably no animal loves our trash more than a recycle ninja.
Guilty as charged.
Shiesty Cat is a survivalist on steroids who easily adjusted to life in the city.
Yeah, we know how to get around. No, I remember watching a video of a raccoon doing literal tightrope walk across some power lines. The hands on one line and then their feet planted on the other, and it was just literally tightrope walking. And then I remember, your family's always been German Shepherd. My family has always been a Brittany Spaniel family, but yeah, I remember also reading some message. It was either a YouTube comment or something else about how some guys were camping out and they saw a raccoon literally open a jar of something, and they were impressed by their ability to do so.
From foraging from 9 to 5 to dumpster dive and leaving trees for chimneys. Raccoons have hands, free will, and the intellect to use both.
Once they're opposable, then you'll all be sorry, all you filthy humans.
Which can lead to a sugar bandit hitting a lick on a donut shop and slipping away to do it again.
Yes.
When they don't use the direct approach.
Oh, and then the either you do it yourself or we'll just let them do it for us. Yes.
Mind you, stealth eyes have great memory. She just made a regular for life.
Yep, and then they just keep coming.
They'll take free rides from anywhere, literally.
Oh, even on top of crocodiles and alligators, huh? Because I know, no, talk about capybara vibes. Capybaras are friends with everything.
There's more than one case of ringtail commuters taking trains, like when a raccoon hopped on a Toronto road train headed.
I do remember watching a raccoon documentary about those living in Toronto. Apparently, Toronto has the highest population of raccoons in the world.
Halfway down
I don't know if that's still true, but that's just what I remember from the documentary.
Ontario. Or when another tried hopping on a subway in Spadina Station. Raccoons aren't just built for the city, they're forged by it. And all
Yes. You see, you merely lived in the city. We were born from it. I don't remember the whole quote, but you know which one I'm talking about.
Our efforts to slow them down might have just made them smarter. Toronto's
Yes. No, I remember someone mentioning trying to keep their trash secure by putting little bungee cords on it, and with our hands, we just take the bungee cord off. Simple as that. And then I remember when people tried to import them into like places like Germany, and we climb up like water spouts on the sides of houses. They tried to put little covers to prevent them from climbing. We just climb around them.
$31 million on raccoon-proof green garbage bins in 2016.
Mm.
Designed specifically to keep the veiled vermin from your trash.
Yes, but there's that handle there.
The raccoons spend a couple days in false defeat. It's looking
Yep, yeah. You see, this is what...
caught making the bins for 30 mil.
Yeah, you thought you could stop us, bitch. Nah, we're better than that. Nah, you think you ain't slick. Nah, you think we don't know how to turn something? You're sadly mistaken.
The city of Toronto was like a joke, because nothing is truly raccoon-proof, and many believe that the harder people push to prove up.
And yes, here we are. Let us go. Yes, we are at that advanced stage that we have developed the ability to use tools. There was also recently another animal that started developing the use of tools. It was either elephants or it was something else. I do know that dolphins use tools as well.
Or they've accidentally buffed the brain of a bin burglar. In fact, many people have dubbed this excessively street-smart variant as the Uber raccoon.
Let's go, yes, because our hearts are uber powerful.
So it would seem that like death, taxes, and The Simpsons getting...
Let's go. 37, yeah. Apparently we're on season 37. I wonder how long it's going to go on for. I do know that Marge's voice has seen better days.
Season, raccoons are inevitable. But before
Let's
we start
go.
fantasizing about naming a litter merchant Rocket, you should probably know, what exactly is a raccoon?
I am.
Let's take this ride one more time. With Border Carnivora, there's
Yes, I know. Yes, I know. There's like they constitute. Well, they don't constitute their own family, but they're part of a wider family that's simply known as the Procyon family. And also, not only does it include raccoons, but it also includes other creatures that are relatively similar. Some of which do have ringed tails, like coatis, among others.
Team Cat and a Team Dog.
Yeah, we're on Team Cat. It's gonna keep going till someone dies. Well, I'm sure plenty of people have died on The Simpsons. We are caniforms. We are dog-like.
Cat feliform has, well, cats, wildcats, hyenas, the mongoose mafia, and a bunch of mammal cats for old nature.
I think meerkats are also on that side as well. They're a type of mongoose, I think.
That is spare parts like the binturong, the fusa.
Yes, the Fusa are attacking!
Caniformia has the canines, along
Yes,
with bears,
we got bears, the sea dogs,
scratch outs like the honey badger.
honey badgers, weasels, wolves, bears, seals and walruses, weasels, skunks, red pandas, and
Skunks, and of course, the raccoon.
yeah, unfortunately my avatar is in the way, but for future reference, those are example of dog likes. Like, you've heard of rogue-like games or souls-like games. These are dog-like games.
More specifically, the raccoon family is Procyon.
Procyon, yes. You have kind heart towards animals too, yes. The term Procyon was I think it was originally the name of a star. Well, the word itself means pre-dog. The pro means pre, and Sion is based on Greek kuon, which means dog. So it means pre-dog.
That family reunion has members that you may not
You
have
saw a red panda at a zoo. Yeah, red pandas are cute.
heard of before, like the ringtail, actual name, the cacanisle.
Oh, yes, these are some other
Every
relatives.
time I see it, it feels like the first time. The kinky Jew. No!
No, oh, I completely forgot about Kinkajous. Oh, I saw what he meant by Kinky Jew. Yeah, Kinkajous are also part of it, too. I completely forgot about that.
Kinkajou, aka the honey bear. But by far, my
Honey bear.
favorite raccoon cousin is not a moonwalking dinosaur.
It's the Kawatis.
That's just what
Right?
happens
Yes, Kawatis, or Kawadamundi.
when you put coatis in reverse. If you've been to Mexico, you've definitely seen at least one coatamundi, if not coatamany. And
Yes, let's go. Yes, all my homies rise up.
someone who's been to Mexico, I can assure you that they'll steal your
Maybe I should have been a Kawadi instead of just a raccoon, but what you gonna do?
heart along with anything else left up.
Yeah,
It's a habitual hog-nosed.
we gotcha.
Suddenly, I'm okay
Yes.
with that.
Let's go.
So obviously, when it comes to
No, so even Kawadis have that kind of tendency.
raccoons, it's just genetic. They can't.
Let's go. Rise
Raccoons
up.
are the only ones that were able to leave the trenches and make money moves in the city. But
Yes,
how?
we did.
How did raccoons finesse the infrastructure so well that you honestly forget they're not supposed to be there? You know raccoons are smart. The question is, how smart? Yes.
Yeah.
A literal Robin Hood isn't just street smart.
Let's go.
They sit at a table with some of the
Yes, when Lisa saved it, it would have been a true hero, I'm sure. You keep bringing that. We should probably look for it.
animals in the world. In 1907, two
Yes. A study in animal intelligence.
psychologists tried to power scale the intelligence of the raccoon.
Yes.
To do it, they used Edward Thorndike's puzzle box. In this method, the subject would have to engineer opening a series of latches to see not
You
only
just remember that long-nosed dog.
how fast they could accidentally find the answer, but how quickly they could purposely do it again. They both did the same experiment separately, and both came to the conclusion that not only did a bushy-tailed urbanite clear cats and dogs, the raccoon's performance put them right under monkeys. Raccoons are also
Yep, here we are.
one of the few animals that passed Aesop's test. In another experiment, 2 out of 8 raccoons were able to figure out that they could reach a marshmallow in a tube with water.
Oh, this reminds me of how crows do it, you know, because I know that crows have also of an understanding of water displacement.
By dropping stones to raise the level high enough.
Yeah.
Everyone said,
Yes.
and rocked back and forth until it tipped over and the
That too, that also works.
water and marshmallow spilled out. Something a team of PhD students did not see coming.
That was something we hadn't predicted. Yes. You might think that we're these cute little innocent mini bears, but little did you know there's a mastermind under all of this.
It was never a secret raccoons are cognitively capable. Once upon a time in the 20th century, there was a push to use raccoons as lab animals for neuroscientists and psychologists, but that idea
Is that so?
lost steam due to the procedural issues of raccoons breaking out of cages and escaping through
Yeah, you don't mess with us.
vents. Basically, it got to the point where you couldn't tell who was studying who. A deliberate disciplinary choice in the history of bullshit. They
Yes.
by a dumpster puppy and refused to run it back. Honestly, raccoon intelligence comes down to 2 things. One is memory. Raccoons can remember
Yeah.
solutions to problems they solved years ago, and which
I bet we
build
can.
on that knowledge. A different experiment involved 22 rats, 2 dogs, 4 raccoons, and 5 human children. In
Ooh, we're getting this.
Time, they'd face 3 light bulbs, one of which would briefly turn on, and the subject would have to identify which one after a delay. At first, the raccoons didn't do too hot. They could pick the right light bulb after a 25-second delay, but the dogs could handle 5 minutes. But what was quickly realized was both the dogs and the rats could only remember which bulb if and only if they were facing the bulbs the entire time.
Is that so?
As soon as they moved around,
Or Lisa Simpson will be to the rescue. Either that or we'll just give you rabies. Simple as that.
and lost visual, they lost a challenge. But raccoons could pick the right light even after spending the delay moving around and being distracted. The only other subjects that could do this were the children. Memory is important, but the second pillar of procyon prowess is curiosity. It might have killed.
They say it might have killed the cat, but it just made us stronger, not the
Yeah,
doggies.
Now, Bluebell Panda has been living off that. In my opinion, other than crows,
Oh.
raccoons are the perfect city animal.
Yes.
Curiosity is one reason.
It's just, I want to play with it.
They're neophiles, meaning their first response to something they've never seen before is to figure it out.
Yes, we are quite enamored. I'm actually kind of like that myself. Whenever I always look around at things that I'm unfamiliar with, and I try to see what the rabies. It's a disease that mammals get when they bite.
That's how they turn what Toronto media flex as the marvel of ergonomic design into a 7-figure waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, we might look very. Crows are silly, but crows have the intelligence of a second grader. But second graders these days are too addicted to iPads. So, but yeah, we might look stout and dumpy, but no, our bodies are built for this kind of stuff. Yes, rabies is usually fatal.
It's almost impossible to make something raccoon-proof, since there's an unsettling overlap between the smartest raccoon and the dumbest human.
Yes.
It doesn't help that a rubbish warrior has hands.
Yes. Once again, once our thumbs are opposable, then it's time.
Fun fact, the animal called wash bear doesn't wash food. They actually wet their paws to enhance the nerves on their fingers. Raccoons can see what they're eating with their hands.
Yeah, so, in the Tito the raccoon videos we look at, I remember, who was it? It was either Piper or it was Cheeto. They trying to eat some macaroni, and one of them just flicked it off their fingers. It was like, no, I don't want this.
Speaking of food, it helps that raccoons are omnivores.
Yeah, we pretty much eat anything.
You, your dog, your cat, they'll food tax your entire family.
And then this, it just is fatal.
With the goofiest animation after.
Yes.
Even if it means waking up face down in a liquor store.
Oh, man, come on, man. I'm a raccoon. I ain't walking to the moon. I'm walking to the liquor store.
But what raccoons really eat off of is pretty privilege. Despite being much less of a disease risk, opossums don't get a fraction of the PR.
Yeah, I've been told that my mom learned that possums don't get rabies, which gave her a newfound appreciation for them. And being a mother of 8, she strongly resonates with this. And fun fact, their lower body temperature makes it nearly impossible for diseases like viruses to survive. Oh, so that's how they're able to withstand rabies. No, my mom relates to this quite a bit. You don't have... Really, rabies doesn't exist in New Zealand? Yeah, I think it's mostly in... I don't know if it exists in Europe. I know it's here in the US. You don't want to eat that shit. No, we don't.
People who hate on coyotes but give raccoons a pass must not have the experience of waking up to it.
I cannot express how stressed this makes me. No, you see, I came back home after a long day at work. I don't own a cat.
Dismembered, disemboweled cat. In fact, intelligence in a face mask often makes you forget they're a predator tough enough to maul your family pet.
Yeah, you better watch out, bitch.
And in the city, very few things.
This used to be a decent neighborhood. Is that a... What the hell is that? Is that a coyote? Looks like a coyote, but I can't tell.
Things can return to favor, as urban raccoons have almost no predators.
I can't tell if they're mating or if they're doing something else.
Except for maybe an otter. Not like
an otter, huh? Bro, what the fuck did I just watch?
I think otters actually eat them, but to be fair, this does look
This just looks like a...
predatory.
This just looks like, I don't know, this just looks like typical nature stuff.
Other than Lila showing Rocket where everybody floats, raccoons are in that sweet spot where many of the things that would normally eat them are too big to really follow them into the city.
Oh, I get it. So that gives us an upper
At
hand.
least if they do, they get all the smoke from humanity.
I remember seeing a coyote in the streets of my neighborhood. I was like, damn. And it was a big one, too. Must have been a male.
Basically with raccoons, they're bigger than the cute.
Trying to do a Hungry Pumpkin reference. I am very hungry. Oh, no. I don't want that. That was terrible. I'm never eating here again.
Animals cuter than the big animals. But
Yeah.
the last piece is their psychology.
Oh, damn. No, we got through that.
Experiments show that the quieter, more docile raccoons were craftier and much
It's always the quiet ones that you gotta watch out for, you know?
better at solving puzzles than the aggressives. Ironically, bolder raccoons were less likely to take the time to see how a device works, meaning not only are calm raccoons superior students and problem solvers, but calmness is the trait that animals need to survive constantly being around humans.
Yeah, that's how it starts. We're trying to make ourselves calm, cool, and collected so that way we will become the next cats. And soon our supremacy over the pet world will be complete.
It's also the first step to domestication, which brings us back to the question, are raccoons actually being domesticated? It's complicated, remember.
It is complicated. No, it depends. It really does depend.
That it was wolves valuing our leftovers so much that it created selective pressure that favored less fearful, more people-tolerant.
It's very extremely rare that someone would survive rabies. I'm pretty sure it has a 99% fatality rate.
Wolves, and after several generations of these docile wolves breeding, you eventually got breeding blocks that would lead to Shih Tzus, Pekingese, and someone crusty-eyed, semi-big dick Q-tip. You know, there was a period where every single girl I
Okay, it's not.
talked to had one of these, and they did not like me. But a lot of people say that the mass marauder is at the starting line of the same process.
This also severely stresses him out.
That the snout study only proves it. Just one problem though, that study is very sus.
Yeah.
For a number of reasons. They used images that were uploaded by random people to iNaturalist, meaning
Yeah, you need to. If you're gonna ever heard, nope, never heard of anyone who survived it. You gotta get your priorities in check.
Thrown a pig up there, and they might have ended up in the study. And then to avoid, I guess, duplicates, they limited the image contribution to one picture per person, which cut the picture pool from over 100,000 to just under 20,000. But they also had no way of knowing multiple people didn't just plot the same raccoon.
Yeah, there's no way to tell.
Out of the 19,495 pictures, they cut it down to 249, 38 rural raccoons, and 211 urban.
I think we need a larger sample size than
I'm
this.
guessing they filtered out for the best quality images to measure, but I feel like you can't mess with the numbers that much without severely
It would be better if we just had more hands-on studies, if anything.
kneecapping your study, especially since they say they pulled pictures from 2000 to 2024. They used the last 4 years due
Yeah, scratch yourself.
to a low number of rural data points.
Yeah, I mean, when you're out like in a rural area, there's not too many things going on, and there's not too many people, so it's hard to really tell.
Basically, they're saying in 20 years they couldn't find enough country raccoons. I don't think.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what, I mean, they're all over cities, so.
I'm not even going to pretend like I'm the best at reading these studies or making sense of the numbers, so I'm actually going to link this creator's video. She's an
Let's see. And two, you've already been working with them for years.
actual raccoon biologist. She's the only U.S. citizen allowed to study the pygmy raccoon.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing. Because I know there's like there are three main species of raccoon. There's the common North American one, and then there's two others. One of them is the pygmy.
And the creator of DashCon, which was some lore I was not expecting.
Wait, what? Isn't DashCon a My Little Pony thing?
But honestly, I'm not as worried about the numbers as I am the fact that the same study even admitted that raccoon snouts can be influenced by the climate, with them getting shorter as it gets warmer.
Okay.
Remember, I said domestication syndrome can come with shorter snouts, but also floppy ears, curly tails, etc.
Yeah, it kind of depends.
Took one trait that arguably could be caused by the climate, and I also forgot the way they did it. Some of the rural raccoons were actually living in urban areas.
Oh.
Again, I'm gonna plug Nessie's video. I feel like she did a much better job at dissecting this study than me, but the more I looked at it, the more it looked like an undergrad statistics project
Yeah.
than an actual raccoon study. Which it actually might be. Now let's get to the real reason I'm making this video. I know I just pissed off a whole bunch of people by killing their raccoon Reveille, but the thing
I don't know. No, it's validating.
is, I'm not saying raccoons aren't domesticating themselves. I'm also not saying they are. Let me explain.
It's a double-edged sword. They are, but they aren't. It really just depends. It's a case-by-case basis. That's the best thing that we can say for sure.
Domestication is a multi-generational DNA-altering process.
Right. In this case, they were like Like, dogs are specifically bred for specific purposes. And the same thing holds true for livestock.
Ends with an animal that kind of needs us to survive.
Right, yeah. Dogs are very, very much dependent on us, whereas cats, yes, they are domesticated, not necessarily to the same extent as dogs, but they can pretty much hold on their own.
They can't live in the wild, or at least they're not supposed to.
Yeah, cats don't really...
Habituation happens on an individual level, where the animal's still wild, their kids are going to be wild, but they've adopted changes in behavior to take advantage of being around people. Early wolves became less afraid of people and more comfortable cleaning our plates. That was habituation. And habituation is what you see with a lot of these raccoons getting bolder around people, but they're not trying to become our pets. They're just trying to eat.
We're just trying to get by. That's all it really is. Now, if you want to pamper us with all sorts of goodies, then we're not going to complain.
That makes sense. Like, you could argue habituation is the first step of domestication, but it doesn't guarantee domestication. A shot of jungle juice could be the first step to becoming an alcoholic, but one shot does not an alcoholic make.
Yeah.
You can drink it without ending up in an AA meeting. And even if raccoons are on the road to domestication, you, me, our kids' kids, and even the spawn after that won't be alive to see it. And by that logic, raccoons wouldn't be the only ones. Plenty of animals have habituated to humans.
Yeah, I mentioned, foxes too are also like that. I mean, there's the Russian silver fox experiments that have more or less created a quote-unquote domesticated fox, but those are more like artificially selected rather than like naturally selected. So
foxes in London have done infinitely better in cities than in the country. And some researchers even say that their snouts are also getting smaller, as rooting through trash has selected for a shorter snout.
I mean, I've noticed like even like those rescued from fur farms tend to have like very unique color patterns, and I think I've noticed at least some of those types of characteristics.
With stronger bites to break through packages and bones. And black bears in places like Aspen,
Clip was, oh no,
Colorado,
no AI.
commute from the woods into the city to scavenge trash at night, and they've also got
Yeah, they also do that kind of same thing, but
bold about it, even breaking into houses and raiding fridges. Elephants in Thailand have habituated to the point of running things like the mafia.
yeah, I don't doubt that. I know that I've seen plenty of videos of like moose and deer doing the same things.
You got elephants stopping trucks on the road just
so it really is just a case-by-case basis
to steal their sugar cane. But by far the best, or I guess worst example, is baboons in South Africa being so used to humans meaning an easy meal, now they expect it and will
yeah, we've been here long enough. Go ahead and give us our food, bitch.
violently run your pockets. But no one's saying baboons, elephants, or especially bears are being domesticated. And black bears are just obese.
Yeah, don't just do that.
Raccoons.
Don't.
I mean, some will claim that for foxes, but even if they are, nobody you know or will know will be alive to see it. And as cities continue to spread, a lot of animals will have to adapt or die. And credit, raccoons adapted the hell out of their circumstances.
Yes, we did.
Raccoons hacked the city game, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. Toronto is considered the raccoon capital of the world.
Yes, I was right about that. Okay.
With up to 100,000 black-eyed bandits free roaming, which would
Here we go.
make them the largest minority group in Toronto.
Let's go. Represent.
And if the $30 million dud wasn't proof, these sticky-fingered city slickers are testing humanity in ways few other urbanites could. But at least raccoons make sense in North America. Somehow they've taken their act international to Germany.
Yeah, someone tried to like import them as pets, but then it was kind of like, eh.
In 1934, raccoon fur farms were booming.
Oh, it was a fur farm, was it?
The forestry chief released 2 pairs of wash bears to enrich the environment.
Enrich the environment. You don't really want to do that. This is an example of what we would call an invasive species, where it's an environment that they're not supposed to be in, and it ends up messing up the ecosystem. I'm pretty sure something like that happened in Australia with the introduction of sheep.
The result was the raccoon population blew up. And not just them, because years later, a bomb obliterated a farm near Berlin, allowing 30 raccoons to escape. And today, there's an estimated 1 million rogues roaming the country.
Yeah, and here we go. We're forming a new subspecies.
1940s Germany, yet still did not see that coming.
Yep.
The most outrageous origin story is how they ended up in Japan.
Oh, yeah, I think I know this one.
You see, after the 1977 Rascal the
Oh, yes, I remember this.
Raccoon anime, raccoons
Naskaru.
became all the rage.
Yeah.
So much that Japan was importing over 1,000 a year to satisfy the demand for pets. And thanks to raccoons being some of the worst pets you can have, if they weren't released into the streets by owners, they escaped and invaded the cities anyway. They could have just taken
And how many of them are in Japan
the
at
time
this
to
point?
finish the anime, they probably would have gained the insight that could have avoided all of this. Instead,
Yeah.
Japan has been at war with an unknown number of raccoons, who aren't just costing millions of dollars in damage a year, they've done an absolute number on the already endangered Japanese salamander.
Yes, yes. This is why you don't just introduce foreign species to another place.
While also severely outcompeting the very ironic-looking raccoon dog. They
Yes, raccoon dogs aren't raccoons. They are dogs. They are canines.
keep getting away with this. But it's not all good for the raccoon. Habituation can be a problem for them too. As
Yes,
funny as a
over-reliance, among other things. I mean, with cats and dogs, obviously, we've been with them for long enough. But here, obviously, passing out drunk is not a very good look, and it's probably not good for the gene pool either.
raccoon breaking into a liquor store and getting faded off the moonshine is, there are some unexpected consequences to them eating the same food as us. Like, did you know
Yes, we get very portly.
raccoons can get diabetes?
Diabetes.
Researchers looked into the runes in Ontario, and they found that the city variety had a blood glucose level more than double those in the country. Mom, I'm sorry, I know you don't like me cursing, but I cannot stress how badly you them over by feeding them.
Yeah, don't feed the animals, as they say. Feed me. I won't do anything.
Masked up Chonk is real cute until you realize they're having the
Yeah.
same issues with obesity, diabetes, and other health
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Just because it looks cute doesn't necessarily mean it's... Yeah.
problems. And remember, Toronto already blew an NBA player's salary trying to stop them. Not to mention
Yeah, but we're still alive and kicking.
the very real issue that raccoons go the way of baboons, where they not only lose all fear and respect for humans, but start getting violent about it too. Because I
Yeah.
say it all the time, you could probably finish the phrase for me, but the worst thing an animal can do is what? Lose its fear of humans.
Right.
So while the original raccoon might seem far
You know, some people would... yeah, it's sugar. It's like insulin, sugar... It's a bunch of things.
from extinction, there's another raccoon on the brink that you may not have even heard of. Because there's actually 3 species of
Yes, there's 3 of them.
raccoon. You got the famous common raccoon, but also the crab-eating or
Crab eating, yes. That was the third one I was thinking of.
South American, because they don't even eat that much crab.
Yeah, South American. Yeah, North American, South
But also
American, and then the pygmy.
Cozumel or
Or
pygmy raccoon.
Cozumel.
You remember how I said Nessie's the only U.S. citizen that's authorized to study them? Well, she's seen firsthand what habituation, especially tourism, has
Yeah,
done to them. Like, while I was sitting home,
I'm guessing because of how small they are, you feed them too much of that, all that kind of food. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be good for them.
working on this video, she had to deal with a couple Cozumels that died due to habituation, likely due to the malnutrition of eating tourist trash.
Yeah,
It's sad
no
that there's
shit.
only a couple hundred of these walking travel-sized trench coats left, with, other than habitat loss, parasites and disease being some of the main reasons why. Reasons that definitely are not helped by being fed junk by tourists.
Yeah, I mean, it's better that we simply find it ourselves. We'll find it ourselves. Life always finds a way.
But probably the biggest problem is that most people don't even know they exist. Like, if you look up Mexican raccoon, Google
Yes, Mexican raccoon.
will probably acknowledge the coati before the Cozumel. And it's getting to the point where if we don't lock in, like, now, the whole Cozumel raccoon community is gonna get canceled. That would
Yeah.
really suck, because I literally just found out about them last year. So
Yeah, I knew that I knew there were 3 different species of raccoon, but I forgot what they were actually called.
to make a long story short, raccoons aren't domesticating themselves. And if they are, it's no more than baboons, bears, or foxes. And if
Yeah.
they are, it'll be many, many, many generations before anyone sees it.
Yeah.
And honestly, I
Not unless you forced it, like what they did with like the Russian fox experiments.
don't think the scientists reporting on it were trying to be misleading, because again, it technically could be domestication, but I feel like news outlets saw domestication and kind of ran with it. And then
Yeah.
people saw that news and immediately started thinking they'll have raccoons in pet stores. And that's
I don't
not
know.
the case. And you don't want it to be. I'm not kidding when I say a raccoon as a pet will have you hating the species, your life, and everything about it.
Not unless you knew what you were doing.
Imagine an adorable but incompetent contractor that does awful work and then demands food after. That
Yeah.
and they're liable to mangle your cat. Also, it's not good for the raccoons either. I can
Yeah.
show you a graveyard full of raccoons that started as pets. And hot take, all exotic pets are bad. Okay, but I feel like opossums as an option are way more chill. Like, who's ever been
I
punked
bet.
by a possum? And skunks are a low-key sleeper pick. Like, I'm not kidding.
Skunks.
They might get a video next. But yeah, instead of obsessing over bringing raccoons into our house, we should probably try to save them while they're still out. And that's gonna do it for this video. Shout out to Nessie for helping me with this video while fighting the good fight. She's currently in an undisclosed location in Cozumel.
Well, lots of animals bite people, so
Trying to save the pygmy population. I'm gonna put all her
yes, we'll help out. Let's all help the pygmies.
stuff in the description. Also, shout out to Newsflare. A lot of the clips used in this video were licensed through them, so yeah, definitely recommend for finding clips for your projects. Also, I just want to say I'm not an expert in this. Like, don't think of me as a teacher, more like a student sharing his work with the class. If you disagree with me, I have no problem with healthy discourse in my comments.
Right.
I actively encourage it. Just don't be like weird about it. You know what I mean. Drink water, hug your mother. Stop feeding. Is this on? Hold on, let me.
Oh, I know this guy.
Just please stop feeding raccoons. They don't need the help, and your help's not helping. Tell a friend about
Look.
Cozumel, they really need the PR. Say what's up to your pops, and I'ma see y'all
That channel that he showed us backwoods or something like that.
in the next one.
Because oh, and I know about this. There was a guy that summoned a whole bunch of them by playing a recorder. They like the sound of it. I think that's a recorder. I don't remember. There we go. No, there we go. We finally got through that. No, and I will definitely be clipping this, and then I know exactly what the title is going to be, and I have a feeling that I'll know what the thumbnail will be. But yeah, that was very much informative. I knew like a decent amount of that information, but it's good to have both a refresher, such as the other two species that exist, but also some new things. Whether or not they are domesticating themselves, it really just depends. But yeah, whether or not they are domesticating themselves, it's most certainly a case-by-case basis. I mean, you could force the domestication, but then at that point, is it really domesticating? But make sure you check out Casual Geographic's original video, and yeah, that was a lot of fun.